What's up, guys? B-Wiz here. I know it's been a while, and yeah, I couldn't wait to get back to you fast and rapid enough. Funny enough, we're going to be talking today about Quinn Image Edit Rapid, and so this is basically AIO, which means all in one. It's basically what that is. It's just a merge of the clip, and yeah. So basically, we'll take a Quinn Image Edit uh, 2509 workflow and just dull it down a whole bunch. The checkpoints, the checkpoint and the buy and everything are, loaded all into one along with a four-step Laura, it says. And so, yeah, that just makes for a really ultimate model here. And I wanted to pick up a little bit on what a friend of mine has been talking about on his channel. So I think since his video came out, they came out with a version 7.1, which seems to be more not safe for work heavy. So for people doing that, keep that in mind. Maybe 7.0 might be good enough for you, but if you're doing more NSFW heavy work, then you could use 7.1, might help better. Um, And yeah, different LCM, the SGM underscore uniform recommended for 4 to 6 steps, and LCM or normal, okay, 7 to 8 steps. Okay, interesting. So yeah, that's uh just to get down to it. It's an all-in-one model, and we do have some workflows. I'm gonna piggyback off of my buddy Sean Coding on here. He has done some videos about this, and we have an array of different versions of JSON files or PNG image, however you feel like loading it. So yeah, we'll get into basically, I think today we'll study a little bit on the one image edit, what that can do, and then play with some other versions and see what we can come up with. So we'll find ourselves here. You need to go to Hugging Face. I'll have the link in the description and the bio below. And so we'll go to Files and Versions. We'll need to go to the latest version. Right now it's currently version 7. Likely we'll have more versions come out. Um, so there is a more intensive, like I said, version 7.1 not safe for work. And seems like there's a version 7 not safe for work. There seems to be no safe for work version, updates. So we'll just go with the latest safe for work version for our testing. Um, like I said, 7.1 is there though. Um, so what you'll do, I normally go to the download link here just for a sure thing. Copy the link address. Now, as I've mentioned on my previous videos, I'll leave some links in the description for setup for all of these various different models, and I'll try to update that video as soon as possible to have more up-to-date structure. But for now, we'll just head over to our Jupyter Labs. It looks like we're going to be in checkpoints, so we'll wget and then paste that link there to download the entire model. So typically, one thing to remember, the Fusion models is where Qwen models would typically go. However, our new all-in-one model goes into the checkpoint. So fortunately, I did have it downloaded there, the Qwen Rapid All-in-One Safer Work version 7.6 Save tensors in the models slash checkpoints folder. If you know how to travel around in your Jupyter Labs, remember change directory to navigate to a new uh, directory. So with that in mind, we could head over to our workflow now. So that would be located right here in our RunPod. Now, like I said, if you need help figuring out how to travel around through your pod, help with setup in any way, you can refer to some of the older videos. We'll be discussing this new Rapid all-in-one and just checking out the speed, trying out a few different prompts, and seeing what we can come up with and create. So, with that in mind, let's see what happens here. I'm just going to take the typical example image and see, we'll put a realistic version of this character. So it's perfect to test Quinn's power is to give it this nice little doodle here and see what it comes up with as a realistic character. So let's see what happens there. And then we'll get into some more interesting prompting and see what we can really dive into with this new model. Okay, so it's funny what it came up with here. It's almost like an old school Windows XP screen uh, for the background here. But yeah, that's what it made of this image over here, down here to the far corner. And so yeah, the prompt being a realistic version of the character in image one. So, as Shar gets into in some of his videos, uh, you can go and do things such as adding another image. So it's just as simple as adding another load image. And so from there, we could control the background and use, but maybe more realistic looking images or, find something a little more befitting of the situation here. Um, Although we could, style image two to, you know, become image, the girl in image one. That would be a direction we could take, but I'll digress on that, and we'll find find some more suitable images and touch a little bit on what can be done with this all-in-one. Now, let's go back over here and check our Jupyter Labs. Now, it did take about looks like about 45 minutes. So yeah, 259 seconds to load. Now that doing only 4 steps, um, I believe is really still a good load time just for the first time. Now, I believe, consecutive load after this, the first load, we'll definitely see the load speed and see, check and see how long it is. But yeah, let's get some more befitting images and then, yeah, I think we'll do a little bit of testing and kind of patch up, fill in some holes, maybe see, if we can find some really good use cases for this rapid all-in-one package. This, so let's put her in a little bit of a cyber city kind of effect. We're going to keep the prophesy text. This is what we came back with. And so, not too drastic of a change of how it changed up, the effect of how it did, because I did actually still maintain this kind of art style. However, still added in a kind of more of a, maybe we'll call it cyber city type. And that's maybe where what it probably depicted and interpreted and put into the prompt. Because what this does is Quinn takes a lot of different uh things and it basically slims it all down into one model and does things like reading that this is a cyber city style environment and I'm surprised it didn't stick true to actually the roof and things like that. But that could be more ironed out into the prompting. I'm going to digress on that. Just remember, if you add a third image, be sure to put it to this is going to be the negative, and this is going to be the positive. Uh, so positive and negative right here. Okay, so yes, make sure you definitely connect a third image if need be. Um, we're not going to do that. We're going to go a different direction, and yeah. So let's see. We maintained a little bit of consistency. I would have liked to see a little bit more consistency. But let's get some more tests in and see what we can do. So I've been pronouncing it wrong the whole time. So the art style is actually called Hokusai. So Hokusai. I'm probably still butchering it. Um, Nonetheless, here's how it looks, the art style. And so let's go ahead and throw that in as our uh, third image and or basically our background image now. And let's add something new. Completing a lot faster now. They're completing within a minute. Um, so what I've done is added in the third image, and yeah, they're going quite fast within about a minute. And so the third image, I really honed in on the Hokusai style art, and yeah, I think so. Correcting the spelling of Hokusai and um, saying image three style art full color. Now at first I got something a little bit like this. So I put that full color into there, and wow, I got something a lot more kind of relevant to what I came out with, what I put in there, and I really like how it came out and captured that art style. So yeah, that's really unique art style, and I think it hit the nail on the head for that. So yeah, definitely a use case here for really kind of making some cool art. Let's try some new stuff now and see what this all-in-one model is really capable of. It really has some great speed. Again, we're producing images. Now on this GPU, which is a lower end GPU, we have probably about 12 gigs of VRAM, and it's doing not bad at all. And a little twist, we'll call it. Um, I told it to take the woman's head and show her from the side profile, so we took a twist. Get it? Yeah. So anyway, 90-degree rotation render her in the Hokusai style art, and with visible city backdrop. And so that's basically what it did here. Looks really good. Did the side view. Um, let's actually take the city backdrop and change that in the next one. See if we can get something a little bit more retro. We're gonna do like a little bit of a retro style with the Hokusai art. Um, Again, we're just playing around, seeing what Quinn is capable of. With a little tweak to the prompt, we have a 70s style retro wave look for the cyber. I wanted to stick with the cyber city, and it actually did change her hair now. It's definitely not sticking with what I would call a good uh, consistent style, which could be used to prompt based on prompting, as it did kind of do well on this one. Notice when I started prompting more, it started taking away from the consistency of the character. So let's try some other things and maybe actually a whole new image set, a whole new idea altogether. Okay, so here I have a blank white t-shirt. With that t-shirt, I've asked it to put this design here. And so yeah, here's how that came along. It put that t-shirt design on fine. And I think it really stuck true to, the dragon, the Hokusai nature of this art. Okay, so let's do one step further. Let's add, this as our secondary image, and let's drop a model into this right here. One second, let me find a good uh, person to rock this t-shirt for us. Have myself here at the bottom. So what I did was I took this plain white t-shirt and I wanted to challenge it to kind of bring to life this design onto the t-shirt. And so I basically just told it, well, I swooped around the images, image two, with the t-shirt and image one. And so basically did that, and that's what we come up with this Hokusai style t-shirt. Very nice with the logo on the corner here. I would love to have that as a shirt. And so this is just a brief idea of, you know, uh, something that we could use it for, making quick t-shirt design ideas or something like that. And so then I also put in. I wanted to, I bring this male model to life wearing the t-shirt, and this is what we come up with. So now let's just we'll see. Have him have that as our next input, and we'll see what we can do with that. We'll just put actually let's put him on a more Hokusai style uh kind of background, and maybe that'll look good with this. Let me see, let me find the right. Let's put him on a sunset beach there. So what I did was say just gonna um add this model here, this fella here, in the same shirt to the beach made. The beach is in Hokusai style art in the classic style with the wood on the right hand corner. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to find a few things. Let's just see what we can do here, and also let's do a measure of speed once more. Our last one came out in about 54 seconds, and that's with 16 gigabytes of VRAM, and I think that's amazing for what we're doing here. And this one shouldn't take long, so let's jump back to it here in a second, and then we'll come up with a whole new idea and a whole new use case. Try to get a few more examples in. So here's what we came up with. Um, yeah, so his shirt does blend with the background too much. I think I would personally maybe change it. Um, it's not quite what I wanted. Page three. Uh, to really kind of tell it where you want each thing placed, so it doesn't just kind of make this kind of merged effect. While it does look cool, it's not really what we were going for. The system is more along the lines of what I was going for. I had to change up the prompting a bit, make it more simplistic, add the background from image 2 to the model image 1. I had to get that clear before we move forward. Moving forward, we'll come up with something uh, a little more thought provoking for Quinn, and see what it comes up with. So let's try something new here. So basically, I've got a lot of images done, and it's taken me quite some time to figure out what I wanted to prompt and how I wanted to, kind of streamline this to you guys. And so, I've done a lot of things and a lot of tests, and so we've done a lot of things in this video already. I thought I'd go ahead and start with, a room of people, and so yeah, let's get into this. I decided to remove one person out of the room, and so for this, I used this one here. Let's see, let's put it down over here so you can see. This was a room full of people. So I said, well, let's go ahead and make the circle of people remain consistent. Only remove the guy in the white tuxedo. So that's how we came up with these, with this group of individuals. And so, yeah, I said, then I said, of course, I said, in order to make it remain consistent, only change the setting to a beach. Keep the group the same. And so that was what it came up with here. Um, Now that was it still had the guy with the white tuxedo. So that doesn't matter. Yeah, they didn't remember that change in this case. Um, I think at some point I did put the guy with the black, or either it kind of transitioned itself back to the guy with the black tuxedo. I'm not sure what, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, no, the input still has the white tuxedo, but the output came back as the guy with a white tuxedo. So from that, I told it to make it look like, so it did that. And I'll show the prompts. I mean, the prompts aren't really too complicated. Like, like I said, I told him just make the circle remain consistent. And I didn't even I made typos even in when I did type. I was setting to a hookah bar, keep the group the same, character consistency. Please keep the same people we have. See, well, I was trying to go a little bit fast because, there was a lot of things I want to put. So then I put Michael Scott from The Office in the middle with two thumbs way, way up or something like that. That's what I told it. So it did do Michael Scott pretty well. And so from there, let's see what else we did. Um, um, so yeah, that's a little bit about changing the setting the room of people for removing people, changing settings, scenery, and such. And so yeah, next let's get to the interior and exterior design process. So with that, it does really good with staying better than a lot of different things that I've tried for similar purposes. So we started with a sketch. I wanted to be clear, give it a good sketch. So what I told it was to, bring the setting to life, maintain consistency with the exact shape and go along with the desired setting modern. And so, that's what it wound up coming up with through that. This, I told it to make a slight change. Nothing big on this one here. This one here, I told it to go a little bit futuristic. And so that's what we're getting here with the futuristic flow. Let's see, we can't really see very well that, but you can see that it remains very consistent. Even the painting over here, you can still see the exact same squiggles. So yeah, I got a little futuristic with it. I tried a few different prompts. Got a little ahead of myself there. I tried a few different prompts. Not much stuck. I tried to try to give it like a robotic feel. It wound up just putting a big robot in the middle, uh, which it was not really what I had asked for it to do. I said, you know, change the object to match the style robotic. And so, I'm gonna go ahead and say that it said, we don't know what we're doing here. Let's just put a big old robot. And I actually did prompt this into there, just for humor's sake. But no, I then I messed around. I wanted to play with some prompting, so told it Aladdin, just to see what kind of give. It kind of did give like a magic carpet effect here. It looks like a framed magic carpet there. It's pretty cool. Uh, so yeah, then I proceeded to put in a new sketch of outdoor design, so that way we can get a good feel of well, how it can handle outdoor. And so let's look at the prompt. The prompting over here was still Aladdin at this point. I hadn't changed the prompting. So it was trying to do like an Aladdin feel here, which kind of does give it a grainy look. So on to the next one, I put the style as technology. And so this is what it came up with for that. Okay. And so, yeah, technology had a pretty cool little twist to it. So let's see what I started playing around. Um, Interestingly enough, I just put the term brick by brick for this one, and it wound up with almost like a Minecraft look of sorts. So I wondered how it would do with Minecraft as a prompt. And let's see, I think I did that here. Yeah, I put the prompt as Minecraft, and then this is what it gave me and that. So whatever I prompted here, brick by brick, looked a lot more like Minecraft. So I'm gonna give it a fail on that one a little bit. But of course, when sticking to prompts like yeah, I put Pixar, that did give it a little bit of a it took the graininess out of it. We'll say I'll call that. Um, let's see what I changed in that. It didn't really change much at all. So let's get on to another little bit of a little bit of a design. You input, and see how well it sticks to the input. It's just wild how it kind of perfects the background so well with this all-in-one model. I really like it. So let's move on to some different. I did leave it in there. Well, actually, I could have left it and done a little bit more. But you get the idea here. So what's really cool, I think this is a friend of mine's drawing that she had made, and I said, well, let's bring it to life. And so I did. The prompting was I did do a little bit different. Have a little bit more play in the art. I said futuristic, have some freedom of expression, keep it true to sketch, make it spiritual. So that was this one here, which I think it did really well as far as the art and just giving it a small example to go off with, and it sticks to the line work very well. If you look at the initial image, you'll see that the mouth, the nose, everything kind of sticks to a general flow. And so yeah, we did when we went and put it as in a tropical paradise. It did still stuck with the art style, a cartoon type. Just I really like how well it does with the alien. But yeah, let's move on. Um, I told it this was an image of, a plain regular car. And I said, well, I just said, turn this car into a more futuristic car, keep the same aesthetic. And so then it kind of spit this out, and I wasn't quite happy with that. So I nagged it a little bit more, and well, this is what it came up with for us. So we stayed in the same cul-de-sac. We just upgraded to more of a bumblebee looking futuristic car. It didn't really stay with the aesthetic. So eventually I prompted it to kind of maintain aesthetic. I actually did that by telling it to give it a Star Trek feel and, keep the rest mainly consistent. So I did a little bit of testing here, with, I wanted to do something with a little bit of text work because I've heard, we know that Quinn is very good, or we'll say Flux is very good with words. And so I wound up finally getting to say back to the cul-de-sac. Uh, yeah, I don't know, very grainy still. Um, but I like how it maintains consistency to the initial background. So that does really well in my opinion. For stuff like that, concept art. And so finally we get a little bit more onto the characters, the consistent characters, and just testing, what we can do. So just this initial image here of this fella, I said put him on a jet ski, so this is what it came up with there. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah, we got him visible, so he's a little bit visible here. So yeah, it kept his shirt the same, his hair the same. Just gives it a little bit more of a stable diffusion art. And that's because probably the four-step Laura kicking in there. But I said give him a King of the Jungle type outfit, just playing around. Actually, let me actually show you what the prompting is, just to show you. I said keep the model character, keep it in the same pose, same look, jungle wearing, caveman outfit. Not sure. I don't think that I left this car in there as an image. If so, that was a mistake. But yeah, it did produce that. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and put this in here. This was a client of mine wants to see a little bit about the process, and so killing two birds with one stone, just to show him. I did a few example art of her from this initial image. I said put her on red carpet, things like that. And I kept the prompt work always very simple. This character in the same pose at a movie event, famous actress. This one here, she's still in the same pose because I told it, make the character same pose, close up in a hot tub. Just showing, the example of how well it can stick to the initial image, um, which can be done better in some methods, which I will also share with anyone that I've directed to watch this. Just know that I have other methods. This one was really cool. I told it, riding a horse, and I think it did well to keep her same outfit. Imagining how her hair would look down and riding a horse. I think it doesn't really stick with the same, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, same bust here that we have. I'd say, so I tried to make it stick to that here, and I think it did really well in these images. So, and with that, I did put make this character close up with the exact features in a jungle. And I actually did tell it new pose, but it still stuck through with the initial. So we got have I think we have here Donald Trump make this close up of exact features of Trump. Uh, I think I was messing around with something and didn't quite finish up with that. But I did manage to get Donald Trump wearing a Joker's outfit, which was really fun. And I think it suits him really well. And not that I don't like the guy. I'm not politicking right now. I'm just saying. I think he looks well. He rocks it really well. And so for that, I wanted some more, art to kind of blend in with it. So I made this jacket. It's a lovely jacket. I got it in leather jacket with spikes and chains from the text encoder. No. Oh man, hold on. We've got two workflows on top of each other now. So let's fix that. Or somehow it got mixed up. So we're definitely just gonna go ahead and move on. Actually, we're mixing them all up somehow. We definitely need to close all these. As each one I'm showing has been opened in a new. Let's just close all of these. Sorry guys. Actually, we're gonna end this out. Alright. Coming back in. So I wanted to make a jacket for Trump. So that's where this came in. And we wanted Trump to have a really rocking secretary. So we made this chick, and she was rocking the spike chains for a minute, and then she decided to hand it on over to Donald and see how he would wear it. And I think it did well to stick true to the aesthetic of the jacket itself. And I said, Trump could really use some sunglasses, so I threw those on. Um, Way to go, Trump! You look cool, looking really sharp there, Mr. President. Moving on. We started testing, actually. Let's see if we can see the input images. It'd be nice if we can. So, yeah, this pair of glasses here, we wanted to try that on with Mr. Trump and see how it would look. It really, it stuck true a little bit to the shape of the glasses as they're very, they have uh, let's say a pentagon type shape, maybe, or octagon. Anyway, so this we gave him some of these green shades here, and I wanted it to stick true to the aesthetic of the shades as much as possible because this didn't used to be possible, and finally got it to this one here, and I think he did really well sticking true to the golden checkered look, and then so that's how that kind of came about, and so I wanted to try some more shades, different styles of shades. That one didn't work quite well, so I used this one here. These shades, they were very, very odd shape. However, Mr. Trump really he really pulled it off, man. He even rocks the blue shades well, man. I gotta tell him, man. So, Trump, if you need any sunglasses advice, we're here for you anytime. And speaking of time, we tried some different watches. Um, I didn't really want to dive too much into it because we had already tested it with the sunglasses. I knew it kind of would work. The person in image two wearing the watch in image one. Oops, I repeated that. Watch in image three. Actually, I think I put both of them as watches. Yeah. And so, yeah, you can see it has a little charm, but it's very low quality. I think you can do much better eventually. So, yeah, that's right now. For now, that has been how far we've gotten with the testing. It does give fails sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, it's not always perfect. But as far as how this system works, I think it's really well for just helping anyone who would like a smaller workflow and doesn't have to fool around with all of the different nodes. So I'm gonna give this model a 7 out of 10. So yeah, we'll take it as it is, take it with a grain of salt. I think there's probably better methods that we'll discuss in other videos, but for now, keep keep grooving on, stay groovy, and just go ahead and hit that subscribe, and we'll keep giving you good videos. Make sure to give this
Why don't I
video a
just
like,
use the
and
regular
shout
Qwen
out to
2509 or
Shara.
whatever may be the latest
Shara
thing?
coding.
Honestly,
That's a good question. So what this does is it takes that and it base model and condenses that in with the Qwen, the Vi, and the Lightning Lura, and all that comes together and eliminates, some workflow issues. Just a whole bunch of different nodes that were basically non necessity, and so. Yeah, this eliminates the need for multiple downloads and various different things like that. And so while it does take a little bit longer on the first run, I'll find that this really does save time on the long run. So yeah, it's really based upon taking 84 gigabytes of everything and kind of condensing it down all in one is really quite frankly very rapid indeed. All these downloads and node saves, and so it really just makes for a more efficient, clean way of running Quinn. And I think we'll all kind of flock to this as far as when we think of the most simple way to run it and the most efficient and rapid way to run this. So let's skip the hassle. I have some videos that you can watch like kind of show you how we got this far. It's really pre-configured. There's basically not much that you have to download onto your computer. Everything's ran through the cloud, and we will be using through a service called RunPod some pre-configured, uh, basically scripts that download all of these models and things and complex setup for you.